More container, more inviting than the Queen. MTL, we hope the show goes well. And please don't be cock. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome back to MTL Marshall Takeover Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us again for our 4th week in a row. The demand has been exceptional, so much so that we've had to add in an extra show. That's why we're coming to you live tonight on a Wednesday night. Joining us for our new slot right here for our singer-songwriter sessions on a Wednesday at 6. And then, of course, our full band Fridays, which will be at 6 p.m. on a Friday evening. I'm super excited for that one. We're going to have a whole band in there, crammed and ready to go. We're going to make noise and have loads and loads of fun. Thank you so much for all of your feedback. The response has truly been unbelievable. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah? Yeah. So all of you have been posting on our pages, giving us private messages saying, please, 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 can you get that guy from Prime Circle? We have done just that. He is here in the house tonight. We also have with us Jordan Pretorius, all the way from Pretoria. It is Pretoria, hey?
Yeah, I'm Jordan Pretorius, but I'm from...
You're not from Pretoria. Okay, so all right, so we cleared that one out of the room, but we have him in the house as well. He's also a singer-songwriter joining us here this evening. We're going to have loads and loads of fun. How are you, lads?
We're good.
Good.
How are you doing?
Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have both of you for various reasons. Ross, obviously, you are one of our big guns in the music industry, and it's so nice for you to take your time out and come and share your talent with us.
Nice to be here. Thanks. I've missed seeing people, seeing faces.
You know what? Yeah, it was so weird. Like, because we've known each other for a while, and we wanted to go in for the hug, but then it was like the fist. It's got weird now because it used to be like the handshake before.
Yeah.
Now it's like a fist pump in the face and a hug and
it's a bit
leg
scary.
over.
Yeah, scary times.
And you, Jordan, I've only met you a handful of times, but I got to kind of sort of listen to you while you were doing your sound check earlier. Great stuff, man. You're a working musician. That's your full-time job.
Yeah.
But you don't have an album out. Talk us through that.
I don't have an album out, yeah. You know, the type of music or the type of scene that I really got in is just literally playing background music for corporate events, playing background music for the pubs. So I've never really had the opportunity to just go into a studio and record my own things.
If there's anybody out there who is willing to take this gentleman under their hat and give him a record, go and help somebody out. Because I'll tell you what, these are the type of guys that in actual fact keep our music industry alive in a sense. I mean, the whole of Britain was built on these guys, the pub singers, the Sweet Carolines, you know, the Forever Young chaps. And those are the ones that we as the music community and music fraternity should support. So if you want to help Jordan out, you can contact him through MTL and we'll make it happen. All right, George.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Real thing, brother. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But you've seen the inside of many studios. Was Prime your first band, or did you?
I started out the same as Jordan. Yeah, I was doing like a lot of pub stuff, and then people would like shout out like, sing a song about cats, and then it would get really rough. What? You know what I mean? It gets very changed so quickly. But I start singing things, and then you get some. I think my first payment was a CD voucher from Musica. And we played outside of Musica. And then I went in and I bought the Fuel album that had In Your Hands Again.
Yes.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So that was my first payment
Hemorrhage, yeah.
I ever received. And then just carried on playing with the band. I eventually I was in a band called The Fallen Angels. I was in a band called, Plain Speaking. Like really synonymously bad names. And then Prime Circle. And then I hated the name Prime Circle. I was just like, this is no. And it just stuck.
I was going to ask you, why Prime Circle?
It was based on the prayer. It was based on the sort of the prayer that we used to do before gigs, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was sort of that kind of thing. And then even the first logo, I always said it looked like a boiled egg or a fried egg.
Yeah.
But it was actually a bunch of us praying. So it was more of a like that kind of thing.
That's so cool, man. I love that. I'm really embarrassed. My first album that I ever bought was the Backstreet Boys because I really wanted to be a Backstreet Boy. Legit, I was like the 6th member.
Wow.
Hectic.
I used to even.
Did you hang around in back streets as
Dude,
well?
yeah. Well,
Tell
back
us
in
why.
It was the 80s, so we could actually still hang around in back streets at the time. But I really wanted to. I used to be big into the choreography side of things. I was always like, man, this is too cool. So I wanted to be a Backstreet Boy. That was where my journey.
Did you want it that way?
Definitely wanted it.
Tell me why.
I wanted to tell you. Because it was nothing but a heartache. That's why. Yeah, man. So, as sort of a young songwriter, I remember I used to watch you guys on Dead Time. Do you remember Dead Time on ETV? When, like, there was this, when you still had the peroxided hair. And,
Yeah.
And I remember like looking and going, these guys are cool, because you were the first kind of, without saying this, without being disrespectful, this first kind of American-sounding band that had come out of this country that legitimately had, like, you sounded legitimate, you know, sometimes, because the early kind of 80s music and then sort of early 90s as well, you could hear when a South African song was a South African song, but you guys were kind of in the same realm as the Nude Girls and Ginger, where you guys kind of were producing stuff. Were you backed financially for that, or did you make a...
Well, it started off with B Sharp Studios, like most bands, and then I got a loan from my dad for 20 grand, and we went and we recorded.
Geez, back in the day, that must have been like...
it was a big thing for him, and especially he didn't want me to move to Joburg. We wanted me to work construction, take over the family business, and we went and did it, and we recorded 3 songs, and we went to every single label, and they told us to go home. There's nothing, and Hello was on that, and I still remember like. Some of the guys came up and apologized later on and said, you know, sorry for not signing you guys. That song turned out to be a massive hit. And I couldn't have predicted that. I mean, that song was very basically recorded. And and then the rest is like just touring history.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing how many big bands that eventually made it through persistence and through sort of hunting around were turned down by multiple labels. There was like no one believed in them. I mean, I think Coldplay was one of them as well. Who's those? Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, they were ended up performing with a sock over their Johnson. That's what made them, man. Yeah, so it's incredible. Any regrets being a professional musician? Because I mean, it's been hard. I mean, you've been a touring band for a long time.
I think I don't regret the music side of it, but I do regret. I think you lose a lot of family time, and I think there's a lot of sacrifice around that. I regret drinking a lot of it away. I must admit, just being on the road, so much is forgotten, and I have a very bad memory because of it. Like I actually suffer from a very, very bad memory, and I think it's just from the years of touring life and enjoying grabbing it with both hands. You know, like we loved sleeping on the floor and like in the cold things in the back of the trucks, and like I can't, like this lockdown now has been terrible because like I'm not moving and I need the wheels to be moving. So that's one thing. So I feel really anxious a lot of time now because of this. So hopefully the wheels start spinning again.
I've got a story on the topic of the drinking days and Ross's capability therein. There was an occasion at a it was my birthday, 2017, 8th of February. Okay. And at the time I was still organizing acoustic shows at Rumors on Tuesdays. And seeing it was my birthday, I put myself on the lineup. I can't remember who else, but I got Dave Garbers on.
Oh, yes.
And Dave Garbers got Ross to come to the gig. Ross finds out it's my birthday. And I don't think I bought a drink that night, but it must be one of the sloppiest nights I've ever had. Yeah. I think I got through 5 songs when I got on that stage for the acoustic show.
I think it's a prime circle thing because Marco's
also got
found out that it was my birthday. And it was my first year in Johannesburg. Yeah. We ended up getting so liquored. We went to like multiple pubs. By the end of it, I was just flatlined. I was just And I remember tipping the car guard, which I thought was a 20 rand note, and this guy almost French kissed me. It was quite hectic. But I mean, you know, being drunk and easy, it was cool. And then I realized the next morning that I'd given him 200 rand notes. So thanks, Marco. You owe me $200. Well, good for you, but charity.
Don't drink with Marco.
Don't drink with Marco. Don't drink with Prime Circle in general. But it is life on the road. That does that to you. You do find yourself because you socialize for a living. You become part of that kind of that crew of people that you have your regulars that come to your show, and you often stay behind and you have a drink. Yes, you usually have a band room and stuff like that, but I used to find myself going out into the crowd and chatting with them, and then one guy buys you a drink, next guy buys you a drink, next thing you know, you're in rehab.
Exactly.
So it does get quite. Do you get bored a lot of drinks? People go like, sing for me, I lick it all, and then...
I feel as if a guy in a wheelchair and a beautiful girl in a pub gets the same perks. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen to them. I get bored. It is honestly true. I get bored. I think you've even bought me a drink once upon a time as well.
I definitely have.
And hopefully for the disabled part of it and not the...
It was the singing part, but yeah, whatever blows your hair back. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're trying to lower his inhibitions.
But how's that being? I mean, you're a disabled musician. That's what you are. I mean, how do you find that it's? I suppose it doesn't really get in the way of the music, but I mean, like getting on and off a stage and stuff like that. How have you? Are stages do venues accommodate you? Is there? Yeah, it's interesting. Talk us through that.
You know what? Unfortunately, there is... Here in South Africa, we don't have really a lot of venues that cater for people in wheelchairs. And I don't think that's a fault on their part as well. There's just not a lot of us around. I'm sure, I don't know if you could name a few people on the top of your head that's in a wheelchair that's actively doing this.
No,
around the country.
Can I be honest with you? I only know of you, really. I mean, I know of obviously people that have had disabilities, you know, that have been very successful. You look at Stevie Wonder, the people like that. Beethoven was deaf.
Exactly.
You know? So you look at people with disabilities, and I suppose from a content perspective, in terms of a writer, you must have a very sort of, you must be emotionally quite connected as well. You know, people that tend to suffer more than others, and I'm sure you have. I mean, all of us musicians, I think that's a lot of us are victims of bullying or victims of some form of weirdness. That's why we're all a little bit special in our own way. Yeah. But we draw on that quite a bit. You know, does it influence your music?
Well, that's why, as our sound and... what can we call you?
Lighting technique?
The lighting technique and guy, whatever. He was listening to some of my music and he said, "You have really depressive songs." And I was just like, you know what? I just write, the way I write songs is I want people to, I want it to be an anthem for people. You know, I've been through, as a lot of people have throughout their lives, I've been through various situations. But, you know, I always think of myself as someone who wants to motivate people, disabled or not. My quote has always been, if a guy on a stage can do it and follow his dream and he's on a wheelchair, why can't I with my walking legs and my working legs? So that's the message I try and put through, and that's through my music as well.
And you're living proof. And to anybody out there who might be suffering from any disability, it's not the end of the road. You know,
exactly.
In actual fact, I think it should motivate you if you want to really, really do something, and not just music. I think anything in life. If you want to be, I don't know, flipping professional dancer. I've seen people that have massive disabilities that are doing interpretive dance and are professional paid dancers and choreographers and so on and so forth. So no matter, I suppose you're only limited to your own limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
fantastic.
Jordan, is the song that you're going to play for us in a couple minutes, is that one of those songs?
That is one of the songs. It is a song that not a lot of people have actually heard. I wrote that song very recently. Everyone sort of knows the song I wrote a few years ago called It Can't Rain All the Time, which I wrote for disability, mental and physical disability awareness and suicide awareness. You know, the lyrics in there is, don't beat yourself up, don't break yourself down. That's the chorus of It Can't Rain All the Time.
Yeah.
And the song that I'm going to be playing shortly is a song called Fix You Up.
Yeah.
Now that has sort of a similar mindset in there, but it just specifically focuses on what's actually quite amazing, this lockdown. You know, how you're sitting at home, how you're, what's currently happening at home. Because, you know, people that have mental disabilities, how must they be going through this lockdown? What must be going through them?
Completely.
People that are in abusive relationships, what is happening there with them during this whole lockdown?
Yeah, I think you know, COVID as a whole obviously has stopped people's day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
But it's also, in many regards, created prisons for a lot of people that don't necessarily want to be in them. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, as much as we hate on the alcohol ban and as much as we hate on things that have hindered our, you know, sort of mainstream lives in a sense, there are people out there that I think are really relieved, or were really relieved, that the alcohol ban had stopped. And I know since they've allowed alcohol, there have been spikes. I mean, we're getting a little bit hectic here now. But yeah, I mean, so, you know, if you're out there and you're feeling lonely, you know what, pick up a phone and phone somebody at home today and just say, hey, I miss you, I love you, and I hope you're doing. Find out, especially your mates who are living alone, find out how they're doing. I think that's pretty important. But on that note, I think we should hear from your song, because I feel like it's a good segue into the number. Shall we?
Done. Let's do that. I'm just going to be act like a normal person and try and get off the stage.
You do your thing, brother.
You do
You
your
do you.
ninja.
You do you. And while you do that, I'm going to just remind everybody, guys, go to our Facebook page, also our YouTube page. Go and click the link, like and subscribe. If you don't hit the bell, you won't know when we're on. As I said
That
before,
bell.
we've got 2 new shows. So you're going to catch us on a Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. And you're also going to catch us on Friday night for Full Band Fridays. That's this Friday. It's going to be brand new. And I'm super, super, super excited. Over to Jordan. Are you ready, sir?
Jordan, you ready, bro?
Ready.
You're sitting on your own, they laughed you again. Your heart's on your sleeve, it's been broken again. You drive in your car, go a little fast. You wonder to yourself, when will all this just end? You think you're going crazy, it's just a different pace. You're stuck in reverse and in the same place. And when you feel these walls closing in on you, and your heart screams out for something new, I will try, ooh, I'll try to fix you up. I will try, ooh, I'll try to fix you up. Fix you up. You're sitting at home browsing your phone, envious of others who's happy, yet you're alone. You think that every breath is a breath too much. Your mind is playing tricks, seeing things it cannot touch. And when you feel these walls closing in on you, and your heart screams out for something new, I will try, ooh, I'll try to fix you up. I will try, ooh, I'll try to fix you up. Fix you up.
That was Jordan Pretorius with Fix You Up. Let's give him a massive round of applause. Come back, come back, come
Throw
back.
some hearts there for
Yeah,
Jordan
man.
Pretorius, guys.
Yeah. That song was absolutely fantastic, dude. I really enjoyed it. I was listening to it at soundcheck as well, and I was just like, it's catchy, catchy, catchy. And you banged it out again. Well done, man. You got a very interesting tone as well. You know, it's like, I think that definitely is what I think separates most frontmen. Ross, a prime example.
Yeah, I think when you
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, a prime example. When you got a vocal that is sort of your own, that's a great thing. It's amazing, beautiful.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
While we're on that topic, I remember the first time I bought a Prime Circle CD. when I was like in school still had the SABC3 logo thing there.
Wow, yeah.
And my father was like, no, this can't be this guy's real voice. No one just sings like that naturally. He's putting it on.
Yeah.
But-
I don't even sound like that anymore.
Yeah, but I for me, it sounds more natural, to be honest, Ross. With your vocal tone, is it something you put on, or are you just singing?
We were coming. It's over years. I've just learned to sing in my way. But I think in the beginning, you sort of you're trying to figure it out. I was only 20 years old, so I was sort of 19, 20, and then got into that, and then we sort of came in with that sound was sort of around then, you know. And then we got the live tour, and then after that, I just saw different. I started getting into a lot more different vocal things, you know. So I mean, it's like now I listen to a lot more soul. So it's like it's weird how like the vocal does change.
Totally,
You know?
absolutely.
So,
Yeah. What you listen to naturally, you mimic. But also, even when you talk, I can hear a bit of that tone in your voice.
Yeah,
You know, there's-
yeah.
So
Sure.
That's from the cigarettes.
man. So I speak all the time.
But definitely, I mean, I think as all of us as young artists, we're also trying to explore a sound, and we have an influence or influences that we try and emulate, you know. And then, but I think over time, you do become your own individual. You kind of become settled within yourself. I listen back to my first albums, and I was just like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I can't listen to the first few.
Trying so hard to just be awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, but then I listen to myself now, and I'm like, maybe I've just given up. Just stop trying, man.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, as a frontman, we were talking to Khan about this as well. You know, Khan is definitely such a distinctive tone. You know, he's got that voice. You could pop him in a choir, and you'll hear pop out of there. You know, so it is largely so. Yeah. Based on you, well done, man. A round of applause. Can I offer you a beer to say well done?
Actually, on that note, perfect timing, guys. We have got the Sundowner Pub.
This is the best.
Over here.
Come.
Another sponsor of ours that's hopped on board. Thank you so much to the Sundowner Pub.
The Sundowner Pub.
We're gonna make you guys jealous in a little bit. They're gonna bring us a beverage and some snacks. So excited.
So not only can you order food from the pub, they will also deliver booze as well. So you can get a pub lunch in your house. Thank you to Sundowner Pub. You want to go check out the menu. It's www.sundowner.co.za. Heidi, come. You beautiful lady. This is Heidi. Wave at the people, Heidi.
Hello, Heidi.
So you're German, so I guess this is gut, yeah? Guten Tag? No breakfast, so that's a pity. That's fine. Let's make a little bit of room here.
There. Yeah, there you go.
Make a bit of room. Thank you, my sausage.
Smells amazing.
It smells unreal.
Oh, wow.
Beer as well.
Oh.
Bring the beers. Yeah, man. So thank you to Sundowner. Help yourselves, guys. Ross, you're the closest, so you're just gonna have to feed Jordan.
Grab and send.
Yeah, bang it on the put it on the couch
It's
between.
not only my legs now, it's my arm as well.
No, put it.
You're going to have to feed me, unfortunately.
There we go. Some
It's
napkins.
about to get awkward on this show.
Thank you so much.
Cool, man.
There we go.
Thank you.
You can also
I'll
lick
grab
his
some
fingers
now.
afterwards as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks again to the Sundowner Pub. If you wanted again, just go to the www.sundowner.co.za and you can check out their menu. They make a wicked Prego roll as well. I live off the things there. My offices are right up the road from you. Thanks, Heidi. You're an absolute
Heidi.
star.
It's been a
Even
while
your-
since I've had a pint.
Oh
Right?
my goodness, I'm actually so
I'm
excited.
so excited.
wow.
So excited.
Cheers, everyone.
Sure.
Cheers, lads.
Well
See?
done on the show.
Cheers, bud.
There are perks to being on the show. There are perks to being on the show. So cheers, guys. Cheers, my buddies.
Cheers.
So,
Thank you so much, bud.
were you always wanting to be a musician? Or did you have like delusions of grandeur, you want to be an astronaut or something awesome?
Well, no, there's a funny joke. I've been telling it for years, but it's a true story. Is my dad is a very broad Scotsman, and my mum is from Newcastle. And my dad, I said to him, I wanted to be a fireman, and he says, "We don't put fires out, we start them," you know. and it's a true story. And it literally, like we used to, and I worked construction for my dad, and he set fire to a field. So like it literally was that kind of thing. And then the music side from the Scottish family, but then also my mom's quite creative. You know, it's very good with words. So it was just a mang of things. But I was doing construction for a while. My dad fired me, and then after I repeatedly asked him to fire me, and then the music thing was like I was constantly writing songs. Like I was in a place called the Four High, and they take steel like from 10, 20 mils, and it runs through these kind of things, and it compresses down to whatever the order is, like
Yes.
a 2 mil or 1 mil. And I was like, they pull this massive machine out, looks like a big train. and I was going through the cogs, literally like a Charlie Chaplin, that Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yes.
And I was going through that, and I was running pipes, and it was just a terrible thing. But I was always writing music, and then I decided to really try and go for it. And I remember when we stopped working and waiting tables, and there's so much stuff we did, and then eventually the one day we all decided to quit our jobs and just really go for it. And it was a scary time, especially for the guys who'd bought houses, with careers, like their jobs. Marco owned nightclubs and stuff, and we were constantly on the road going to these different nightclubs. So yeah, full time was difficult.
So you, yeah, man. So you had no sort of real backing in a sense in the beginning. You kind of guys, you did the hard slogs out of the van, picking up your own.
Besides my dad's cash, that initial, thank God for him and my mom giving me that money. We had nothing. I mean, the guys were literally, we were living. I remember Dirk he bought me a Coca-Cola. It was R5 at the time. And the next day he says, "Where's my R5?" And I couldn't believe that he would but that's how it was, what I mean? Like get me my effing R5 back. Really.
Yes, yeah.
Times are tough, I've got to pay. So no, we really, we stayed in some of the, I've been attacked by fleas from the top of my body to the,
Was it in Bloemfontein?
It was in London.
Okay.
And I had to stand under these piping hot showers just to get rid of that. I've been attacked by more bugs in the UK and I live in Africa, for God's sake. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we stayed in some shitholes. You pay by the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, dude. Because a lot of the sort of younger songwriters out there now are like, how do we make it to sending through demos and stuff like that. And I always say to them, it really is a balance between playing as much as you can in public, getting seen as much as you can, touring as much as possible, and then obviously releasing content online. It becomes a lot more easier now because the digital world, harder as well, because the digital world is sort of, it's really cutthroat as well. Jordan, I assume that's where a lot of your stuff gets put on as well. You're a social media musician as well.
Yeah. That's where I got my stardom, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Even me.
Yeah. Everyone was, I just uploaded my stuff on Facebook, and that's where I get most of my shows. And yeah.
Yeah, guys, so check out Jordan's Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Pretorius, right?
Jordan Pretorius.
Not Pretorius.
There's no second O.
There's no second O, and it's sometimes mispronounced as Pistorius, which we...
Oh, because that guy was...
No, yeah.
Not a musician.
He was not a musician. Yeah, so Valentine's Days are amazing for me. But anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's Pretorius, and look for an icon that looks like a guy in a wheelchair. It is not Stephen Hawking. It is or Professor X. It is me.
A bit of Professor X, yeah.
A bit of Professor
man.
X.
Hey, man.
He's
legit. Him and Magneto are my two favorite X-Men by a country mile.
Yeah.
Professor Xavier was the business, man.
Yeah,
For the longest time, I wanted one of those chairs until I realized, okay. All right.
Okay.
No, I'm not kidding. Because I'm a big comic book fan. I enjoy that.
Yes,
He is. There's legitimately one of my favorite peeps. So, how long have you been playing music for? When did you start? When did you pick up your first guitar, or was it even a guitar? Was it a piano? When did you go, I'm going to do this? This is what I want to do full time.
So my mom bought my sister. When I was 8 years old, my mom bought my sister.
Your mom bought you a sister.
Bought my sister.
I am terrible at I'm actually terrible at everything.
So just
You're not, man. I'm
excuse
just
my English and stuff. So my mom bought my sister a guitar. It was like one of these 70 rand ones that you could get a game. Terrible with steel strings that when you play it,
It fought back,
Yeah, like the wiring and tires that they put.
Yeah, and I kept on sneaking into my sister's room to play it. You can't really sneak with a wheelchair because like and at that time I didn't know you could use Q20 on wheels to make it not squeak. But I used to sneak in my sister's room and play the guitar, and I just played whatever sounded good. I've never ever had any form of formal training. We couldn't afford it. And I like the idea of just finding music in my own way.
Yeah.
Everything by ear. And yeah, YouTube lessons. So then after a while, my sister got irritated of me sneaking in her room.
Just when he came and just threw the guitar and he goes, yeah, take my
so my
guitar!
mom decided to buy me my own.
Okay.
And
You're lucky.
I learned from that. I mean, I think the very first song I learned was a cliche. It's like Smoke on the Water. That dun, dun, dun,
Wow.
035,
Yeah.
035, yeah, like that.
Cool, man.
And yeah, that's where I started. And how I sort of got to the point where I am now is I tried SA's Got Talents. In talent, I was in Idols. Didn't get very far. But also I felt as if a lot of those TV shows focused on me being a disabled musician.
Yeah.
As opposed to just Jordan the musician.
But you got to understand, I think, in terms of reality TV shows and the content, I know I'm a product of one of those as well. You know, they do require a story. A story often motivates the viewers' participation in you and buy into you as an individual. And
Yes.
that's why and then the talent sort of becomes realized in a sense. I'm still convinced I got through on sheer personality for most of it. So, yeah. So, Ross, are you a learned muso? Can you read do you have the chops?
No, I've recently started learning. I've been getting lessons for piano, doing
me too.
stuff online, but it's been amazing. What an amazing! I've always wanted to play. Like I wrote a song called Bastards years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's it's a piano song. It's the only song I could ever play. It was very just like chopsticky kind of thing, and that just decided that no, this has got to end. You know, like Neil is such an accomplished player in the band, so I don't want to. I'll never get to his level, but I always wanted to play. But yeah, I'm a street kid like you, man. I picked up the guitar and I just started just smashing the thing around. I think I broke 3 or 4 guitars before I got to it, and I learned the whole Sepultura Roots album when I was just sitting in my my living room in my house, and then I forgot it, you know, as you go.
You
But
do.
then you sort of you get into different things, and then just smashing the guitar away, and so I still find myself to be a very average guitar player, but I just enjoy the act of singing and being in a band. You know?
Oh, but you know, we've been having this argument over the past sort of 4 episodes now, where we've had music nerds, aka old Mr. September in the back there, who will talk your ear off about music theory. And then we've got other guys who are just like, yeah, no, but if it sounds good, use it, you know?
Yeah.
A
And
minor FCG.
yeah, hey man,
4
really,
chords.
4 chords. You need 3 chords and a good story. That's all you
Exactly.
really need, you know? So,
Yeah.
for me as well, from a creative perspective, I think I also just picked up a guitar one day, kind of learned, and you slowly but surely become, you kind of grow with the instrument.
Yeah.
So it becomes a part of you, but in a creative sense, not necessarily a theoretical sense.
Yes. Yeah.
So that you say you're not the best guitarist, and sure, when I go up against my guys in my band, Rainer and Chart, and I go up against them, and I'm just like, they're just ridiculous. They're on another level. It's like it's me against Usain Bolt right now, you know. But I think from a creative perspective, I can hold my ground, and I think so can
Well,
you.
as singers, we have better timing than them.
Completely, and we're just better people.
Oh yeah,
we're just better people.
Even the drummer, right?
I actually disagree with that completely.
You do.
This is something I've recently figured out, is that, you know, how do you figure out timing as a musician when you start playing guitar? You tap your foot.
Yeah,
That's how
keep
you
it
sort
in
of
the body. Yeah.
get into it. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't tap my foot.
Do you
I
nod your
couldn't.
head?
No, and so I had to. That's one of my biggest things as well, is timing, and that's why I struggle to work with other people, is because I never really had that metronome built in.
I hear you.
From a young age.
But also, Jordan, that comes from experience as well. You know, if you put a bunch of sort of session musicians together, they're going to slow right in because that's their game. That's what they do. They'll find you as well. Whereas if you are, for example, Ross, you'll sit down and you'll maybe do an acoustic version of Hello, Hello, okay? And let's just say there are 3 other guys that have never played with them before, but they're seasoned musos. They'll generally fit in, they'll follow you because you'll lead them, you know, even percussion. But in a band, generally, the bass and the drums, they kind of create the rhythm section. They're the ones, and then you kind of have to follow them.
Well, that's where lead vocal syndrome develops from. Have you ever been accused of that?
No,
It's never your fault. And the lead vocals, you get lead vocal syndrome. So it's like, the timing, you started the song fast. It's not necessarily. It's not your fault. It's just they can't keep up with you.
Otherwise known as diva syndrome.
Yeah, being a bastard.
Which is
That's what the song was
about. Diva. Yeah.
So, do you do a lot of the songwriting yourself? Is it a team effort?
I write a lot on my own. I write a lot with the band. It's Dale and I have done a lot of writing at his studio. Dale's just been building this amazing studio, and so it's like a mixed up thing, you know. Songs like My City, those kind of things were very personal, and I carried them with me for a very long time. Songs like Let Me Go and Consider Me, those kind of songs were written in the band sense. So we've been very blessed that we can work together, and we keep it simple. You know, that's one thing. Like, I've always enjoyed food that had like a few ingredients. It's the same as music. And then, you know, I've always found that like the songs that we love the most, actually, though, are the ones that are sort of like that we've all had a little bit of a stab at, you know, for the band. I think then it's like less politics sometimes, you know.
I hear you. I completely hear you. But from a songwriter perspective, you are, in my opinion, like sort of the king of the ballad, dog.
Yeah, the ballad boy.
You've got a certain set of skills there that you implement, that whether you're aware of or unaware of. Prime example. Excuse the pun again.
There we go.
She always gets what she wants. One of my favorite tracks. I just love it. I think lyrically it's phenomenal. Melody, everything, but simple.
Yeah.
Simple. Do you go into that mindset? Do you channel, you know?
No, it's weird with that kind of
Sadness.
with that kind of song. That was just a quick write. It was a.
Was it one of those?
You don't overthink it. You know, I think that's when you overthink things, and you know what I mean. Like, and I hate that song, and I love that song. So it's like a weird thing. It's like I have a weird relationship with that song. Yeah, like those simple kind of.
This is
songs.
the one that everyone always requests.
Yeah, it's like Sure As Gets definitely changed our lives. I mean, it got us touring through India. We toured a lot around the world because of that song, and I think, you know, we can be grateful for. And some days it gets on my nerves, you know. Some days that you want to just go, well, do you know that we've become more progressed?
Yes, we have a whole other body of work.
Yeah, and there is some more like really intricate stuff, but we're still blessed and honored. You know what I mean? We're very grateful.
Can I point something out there?
Yes, please do.
With your song, She Always Gets What She Wants. What I like what you've done with the song is you don't play it the way you used to play it anymore. You've got this like Rastafarian twist to it, and
sort of
we
reinvent.
change it up because we get sort of bored with it a bit sometimes, and I think sometimes we have to play it twice because people get annoyed with you because you're doing it in a different way. And I went to the Counting Crows, and I must admit I was upset that show. I left Counting Crows very angry because they kept changing everything.
They changed everything up.
And I can understand that, and like maybe they were bored, but me as a fan listening to that song, so we try and not change it up too much. Like, we mixed it up. A friend of mine, Vadas, he used to be a performer. You guys probably met him.
Yeah.
Bob Lonnie. He was a reggae guy, and he started doing it reggae. So I loved that version. So we started doing a bit reggae as well. But we do different versions of it, you know, to keep it interesting. But people get pissed.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Right away, it was at my wedding, man.
Yeah. It's because they have the album version.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's never changing.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes even if you sing it as exactly as it is, they're like, but you didn't do that one thing. You know,
I did that once. There was a place called Cantaloupe Alley. It was down the road. I don't know if you guys remember Cantaloupes. It was it was an alleyway bar. It was great. And they had a little corner where I'd love to own a place like that one day. And they had a little corner with an acoustic guitar. And I went, and Hello was very big at the time. And I walked in and I did Hello. And a woman came up to me. She said, yes, you're so close. You're almost like the guy. You sound close. Like, wow, that's amazing. She says, no, you're very close.
Yeah.
But she almost looked like she was a bit sad for me, you know.
Yeah, she's like, oh, shame.
You'll get there one day.
Yes, yeah.
I must say, one thing that I just love is, you know, and I think Kyle can agree with me as well. Being a musician that does, you know, background type of music and stuff. You know how many times I get asked to play She Always Gets What She Wants?
Yeah.
Even me.
Even at the sundown.
Even me, dude.
So I think all three of us have.
It happened to Just Ginger. Just Ginger told me, Denim told me a story once that they came back from America. They'd been there for 10 years, and like every kind of deal. Like, you must hear the Just Ginger story. I hope they make a movie about that one day. They're amazing. And they were telling me that someone was going, hello. And they're going, hey, we played. they didn't know. They didn't know there was a song called Hello. Seriously, this life, to swear on my life, like, and Denim kept getting really annoyed. And the guy's going, hello, hello, after every song. And then eventually he walked into the crowd and he said, what's your fucking problem, man? And he's like, play that song Hello.
Oh, it's so funny. Guys,
So-
I must say, I'm getting a lot of comments here. People really want to hear Ross play a tune.
Is it time? Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay, so remind me to tell you about a story about Hello Hello, similar to the one you've had, but go and do your thing.
Let me do my thing.
And then we'll talk about it. Thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like, subscribe, or join button, if that's even a thing, please do so right now. Don't forget to hit the bell, otherwise you'll never know when we're on. Thanks again for the unbelievable support. We've been hitting massive, massive numbers. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel, both financially and with food and beverages. If you want to support us financially, you can do so with the Busker code. It's on the screen right now. It's very easy. It's like SnapScan, and you just put in a figure like 350,000. Then you just send it straight to us.
Yeah, make up your own number.
3,500,000.
It's Jacob
Yeah.
Zuma,
There we go.
111,000 million. So we're going to go over to Ross. I can't wait for this one. Enjoy it, guys.
So long, I hope you find yourself out there. Hope you find the world you wanted and find out what it means to be totally free and unfold, and always do just what you're told. You'll never know until you started. Reach out and let it in on everything now. I'm doing my best somehow. I'm trying but I don't know how. Oh, nothing's gonna stop me at all. Nothing's gonna stop me at all. Oh, nothing's gonna stop me at all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So come in, feel the warmth against your skin, or feel the world ripple over. Something's been forsaken now. Troll out the world that we're in. I'm doing my best somehow. Oh, I'm trying but I don't know how. Oh, nothing's gonna stop me at all. Seen this a million times before. You finally didn't finish, but still one more. Don't you know if you're open to open doors? Don't stop believing, I know I should. I've seen this a million times before. You finally didn't finish, but still one more. Don't you know if you're open to open doors? Don't stop believing, nothing's gonna stop me at all. I know what you're feeling, so don't stop believing.
And we are live. Thank you so much to Ross for the song called Doors, or as he calls it, Doors. Please welcome him back. Come back, come back, come back. Yeah, man. Okay. First things first.
Yeah.
You're looping.
Yeah, I just put one loop on, otherwise I missed the band on that one.
Yeah.
It's some of the songs that I should use the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looping. Yeah, I've been looping a little bit at home because of the piano and everything. So I just got a swivel chair.
Yeah.
And then I just add instruments like a bass and everything. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Sounded great, man.
Thank you.
Let's
That
undress the
resonated.
elephant in the room here. Tell us about this puppy. That's
it's
actually
even,
singing
it's
right
even
now.
feeding
Wow.
back. Which is
It's
amazing.
even feeding back.
So this is the singing guitar.
It really is singing.
So
Wow.
yeah, so it's got Yamaha endorses me, and they've been looking after me. So I've turned all the effects all the way up so everyone can see it. But this is a trans acoustic guitar. So when you go camping, or if you're songwriting, it's very good for songwriters.
Yeah.
I find this amazing because it's got built-in reverb and it's got built-in chorus, which is incredible. And you can play pranks on your friends because you can turn it off when they play. But,
So give us a little example. So it's completely acoustic, and then all of a sudden you push the awesome button.
So yeah,